Magic the Gathering has changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air.
I'm sorry, that was me.
Oh. No wonder it's so bad.
I know.
And this is Velvet Games.
You guys have never watched that, did you?
So anyway,
Terrible.
we're keeping that.
Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, sure. All right.
I'm
so-
Zach.
I'm Jason.
I'm Austin, and we forgot to do that, I guess.
that's all right.
Got to do a lot.
Anyway, so our top 5 video. I will start us off. My number 5 is Pippen, Guard of the Citadel. I also should say this is the Lord of the Rings set. It's in the title. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is it? You don't know?
Yeah. I'm gonna make the title.
Justin?
I'm gonna make the title. Austin forgets everything.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm still. Anyway, so Pippin, Guard of the Citadel, is a 2 mana, a white and a blue, for a Halfling Soldier, legendary creature, the 2/2, Vigilance and Ward 1, and then you can tap it. Another target creature you control gains protection from the card type of your choice until end of turn. It's basically just a Mother of Runes, but I don't want to say a little better or a little worse. It's kind of just on the same level, I think. Someone can correct me if they'd like to. I just think it's really good. It makes things unblockable, protects things. Like,
I'll chime in. It is really good, right? It adds it instead of a color, you can just say pro creatures and then or pro instants, pro sorceries, whatever it may be they're trying to use to get rid of it. And as well as you can use it both offensively and defensively.
correct.
So it is really good. I would say it's a little less than Mother of Runes simply because a whole color, like if you're in a commander game especially, like you're just like, cool, you're playing mono green, pro green. And their whole deck can't do anything against you.
Right.
So I mean I think it is really good. But
I guess that's true because let's say they go to like target him with like I'm trying to think of an instant speed removal. So a lightning bolt.
Sure.
Let's just say a lightning bolt. You just go, okay, I'll tap him, say instance, right? And then someone goes, okay, I'm gonna sorcery speed kill him.
right.
So I could see that.
The other aspect too is, I mean, in that same aspect, you could say sorcery, and then the other thing is they just hit you with an instant.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So just like it's
Yeah,
good.
it's good. So let me. I'll wind that back then. So it is a worse Mother of Runes then, but it's still good. Having 2 or 3 Mother of Runes is pretty good.
No, it's still good. Just a little bit worse than Mother of Runes, in my opinion.
There's Giver of Runes, Mother of Runes, and now Pippin.
Yeah. And 8.5
Runes.
tails.
Oh, I guess it has it. Yeah.
And they're all white. Anyways,
Go on.
to my number 5, Fiery Inscription. It's 2 in a red. It's an enchantment. Whenever Fiery Inscription enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you, which is a fun mechanic. Look it up. We'll maybe explain it at the end. I don't know. Depends on how we're doing on time.
How about we put a description
Yeah.
right here?
Picture.
Editor.
Picture, right. Put it actually
Right on my face.
That
Right-
works better than just
right
telling
here.
people to Google it.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Google
1,
it.
2. Go for it.
All right, and anyways, so Fiery Inscription says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Fiery Inscription deals 2 damage to each opponent. So you're just like, hey, spell slingers, gutter snipe, Fiery Inscription, lightning bolt, play with fire, stroke the flames, anything else you want to throw in there, just
Stroke the flames.
stoke the flames. Whatever.
I'm sorry. I'm a child.
Yeah, stroke the
Indeed.
flames where half of your body turns to fire. That's how.
That's not
Stroke
what
the
I meant at
Flames-
all. I went a completely different
Oh.
direction than you.
Oh well. Anyways, it's really good. I think in any kind of spell slinger deck, anything that you're
100%.
casting a bunch of instant sorceries and you just like take 2 each time, and you just tack on damage. I'm gonna make a deck that's based around burning people to death.
You already have like 3 of those.
No.
Like you don't need to make another one. You can just add it to all of them.
No. And that too. But this card is going to make me start a brand new deck. It's just like where I just burn everybody.
Once again.
So I'm a terrible procrastinator, and I put this list together like literally today
Nice.
in like
Me
5
too.
to 10 minutes. So these are probably some basic picks, but
Nonsense.
my 5 is Flowering of the White Tree. It's a legendary enchantment. It's 2 white. Legendary creatures you control get +2/+1 and have ward 1. Non-legendary creatures you control get +1/+1. Overall, just a pretty good anthem. Gives your commander and other legendary creatures, a nice little buff plus protection, and then gives your non-legendaries a little bit of a buff. It's nice. I could imagine this being in like an auto include in a lot of like Sisei decks and stuff like that. Legendaries matter kind of decks.
Yeah.
Is there a lower cost anthem, like or same cost anthem? I don't think there's a 2-drop anthem. Is there?
I mean, there's
Is it Glorious Anthem? Glorious Anthem's 3, isn't it?
maybe 3, but there's Gaia's Anthem or something like that. That's 2.
Right,
It's
but
one in
that's
the green.
specific though.
Well, yeah.
That's for green creatures. This one's for all creatures and
true.
legendaries.
That's true.
So this may be one of the best anthems. Like,
Yeah,
so
actually,
I don't think that's very basic at all. I think it has utility. Like a 2-drop for that. Like
Yeah. No, the other one, only thing I can think of is they're all 3 drops. Too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
like sure it's double white, but I mean
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't
any kind
really
of
matter. Like
yeah.
If you're playing a Sisei kind of deck, you definitely
Right.
you're gonna have
Right.
multiple sources of
yeah.
each color of mana. So
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I think it's a pretty good choice for decks like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Should we number 4?
Number 4.
My number 4 is The Watcher in the Water. It is a 5-mana 9/9 legendary creature Kraken. Is this the one in front of the door?
In front of in Moria, yeah.
Moria? Yeah. Okay. So with the Watcher in the Water enters the battlefield tapped with 9 stun counters on it. Stun counters are just if there's a stun counter on it at the beginning of every turn.
Yeah,
when it
it doesn't untap.
Right.
You take
You
it
take a
untap.
stun counter.
You
off.
take a counter off of it. Okay. It's kind of like a Rix with These, right?
Yeah. Except
Kind
it's not
of.
a land. Yeah,
Kinda.
Richmond Thieves is just saying it has slumber counters.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it has whenever you draw a card during an opponent's turn, create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. I'll get to that in a second. And then whenever a tentacle you control dies, untap up to 1 target Kraken and put a stun counter on up to 1 target non-land permanent. So this is mono blue. It's basically, you're probably going to be making a Kraken deck, but also just a super draw deck. Might as well. You could also just make this into a Voltron deck.
Yeah.
You could. But just you drop him, pass the turn. If you have mind you have to have 6 mana to do this, but goes to someone else's turn, you just brainstorm, make 3 tentacles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cards that just opt, brainstorm, Blue Sun Zenith for a lot. You could do that.
My thought with that one was the card that says remove all counters from a permanent. Or I mean,
there's Vampire Hexmage.
Vampire Hexmage, but there's
you could add it to other things.
Yeah, you can add it to other things where you're basically the whole goal of the deck is to take counters off of things.
Yeah.
Right.
So the new battles and stuff would be good in that too.
Oh, yeah.
You're just taking the defense counters off and you just flip it.
What is it? Battle of Archivos or Arcavius?
Arcavius, where everything gets convoked.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like a Kraken or a Leviathan or whatever it is.
But yeah, just drawing cards is always good. Doing it at instant speed, or having a card, what's the word? It rewards you for drawing at instant speed. Seems pretty good. It kind of goes in and it makes tokens.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm gonna just kill that eventually. People are just gonna be like, yeah, whatever. Shut up about tokens. But yeah, and then on top of that, just if you have any tap effect, you can give it tap effects.
You can.
If you have anything that or mind you, if you're running in a Phoenix deck or something like that, you just tap it, mill someone for 9, kill it, sacrifice a tentacle, untap yours, tap it again, mill another 9,
Yeah.
And what probably won't go infinite. You could probably make it go infinite, or not infinite, but enough to what you call it? Enough to really do damage. Although this is mean in Arjun.
Wait,
Oh, that is hilarious.
That is mean.
Can you pass it here real quick?
Passing the rock.
Pass the card. So I thought, right, with going infinite, there's that card that says tap it, draw a card, right?
Right.
You do that, and you have like a Ashnod's Altar out.
Mm-hmm.
On their turn, you draw a card, make a tentacle.
Mm-hmm.
You can draw out your deck in Lab Maniac to win.
Okay.
You could.
You actually, assuming you, I mean, you'd have to.
It has to be a Kraken.
You'd
too,
have
though.
to have a perfect setup.
He's a Kraken. You just untap him.
Is there a card? Wait, there's a card that gives something else draw a card?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You don't. I mean, yeah, if you want to look it up,
I'm gonna
you
look it
can,
up, but I'm sure there's a card in the Magic.
You'd have to have a perfect setup. But if you had a sack outlet that draws you cards, you'd have to have the mana.
There is one in black.
In theory, you could go infinite.
Okay, yeah. I can see what you're saying. Yeah, you just draw on their turn, you sack the tentacle, make another tentacle, and so on.
I don't know. Like, I just when I first saw this,
you'd have to have a very specific setup, but you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You could break it.
Just as it is, like it's just super cool. I like the theme. Having a mono blue Kraken deck. Maybe even like if you decide to just throw it in a deck too, it's decent. I dig it.
Yeah, I like it. We will maybe eventually find the card that I'm talking about, but I know it exists. Anyways, my number 4 is Glam During. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to probably butcher some of these names, y'all. I apologize. I like Lord of the Rings. I'm pretty sure it's Glam During, but it's the sword. Anyways, it's 2 colorless legendary artifact equipment. A cryptic creature has first strike and gets +1/+0 for each instant sorcery card in your graveyard. If this is your first time watching me talk about Magic the Gathering, I love instants and sorceries. I love being able to cast spells over and over and over and over again. And the other effect on this is, whenever a cryptic creature deals combat damage to a player, you may cast an instant or sorcery card from your hand with mana value less than or equal to that damage without paying its mana cost. So if I just buff up a creature and hit you with it, I can then cast a big spell from my hand for free.
Yeah.
I mean, and it has first strike too, so that kind of goes around a lot of other things.
I heard someone talk about a combo with Ken from the Street Fighter card. I'm gonna pull it up so I can kind of read it. But you go ahead. I'll whenever it comes up.
So the thought I have is Vadric, right? He makes all of your spells cost less with his power, and then it gets +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. There's also another card in Standard called Haughty Jin that gets damage equal to power equal to the instant sorceries in your graveyard. Mm-hmm. So this just doubles his power when you equip it to him. Yeah. And he's flying, and then he'll have flying first strike, so he has the evasion to do combat damage.
There's other ones that do the same thing, like it's like Cackling Drake or something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyways, so people were saying Ken, and Ken is a 3-drop, a red. He's a 4/2 legendary human warrior with prowess. So whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, he gets +1/+1. You can pay a red or a white to give him first strike, and then whenever Ken deals combat damage, you may cast a sorcery spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the damage without paying its mana cost.
Yeah.
Oh, so you get to do it twice with Glam During, and he has prowess, so he'll get bigger.
Well, one comes from your hand, and so you could stack the triggers. If it's a really good sorcery, you just play the sorcery, and then whenever if you connect with it, then it's just like or like with the second this with the sword, then you're just like I can just recast it if you really wanted to.
You ever get the feeling that like Magic is becoming Fortnite?
Just now.
Oh, Ken's gonna have the sword of Gandalf and just swing it.
I mean, yeah, that's been forever though.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, we have Transformers, Lord of the Rings,
Fortnite.
Street Fighters.
We have Fortnite.
We actually have Fortnite. We have Stranger Things.
It's interesting.
Warhammer 40K.
Can't wait to see Abaddon with a spoiler square off against Frodo Baggins.
Frodo Baggins with
who wins?
I'm just ready for the Batman and Spider-Man cards and all that nonsense. You'll definitely one day.
Maybe Marvel.
Maybe
both.
Marvel. You don't think both?
Both.
I think both. I think Magic would do it.
I don't think Hasbro would. Oh wait, no, they don't.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Hasbro owns.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways,
I didn't say that.
that was mine. That was Glam During.
My 4th is Eridorn, the Uniter. He's a red, green, white, blue, 5/5 human noble. Whenever you cast a white spell, you create a 1/1 white human soldier token. When you cast a blue spell, you scry 2. When you cast a red spell, He deals 3 damage to target opponent. And when you cast a green spell, target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. There's a lot of ways you could build this deck. You could really lean into those abilities and make something kind of interesting. And I'm speaking in vagaries here, but like it's just because I don't really have a specific idea. Like I kind of want to build this, but I don't have a specific idea in mind yet.
Here's an idea. You have him as the commander. Eldrazi tribal. Okay, now listen to me. He's really gonna throw people off because it's gonna be like I'm gonna cast a colorless and do nothing.
I'm casting this Devoid creature, and then
then I'm gonna cast a colorless and do nothing, and a colorless.
Yeah, he's a perfect artifact commander.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
No, so I mean, but what I'm saying is like, because it does say spell, so it's like you could the things you're casting could just all be creatures,
right?
Yeah.
But you could also cast a bunch of non-creatures, and like if you're casting like white stuff, you could you get the human tokens, so you have that. If you're casting blue things, you're getting the additional scries before those spells go off. So if like you're casting like a draw card spell, you're scrying before you get the draw.
Yeah.
Playing burn with him, you just get additional burn. Playing buff spells with green. I mean, you could really lean into like those themes and build around that. Or you could just build creatures and just make it a nice, interesting like. You could just make it like a human soldier deck.
Yeah.
And like just have like his abilities be like afterthoughts. Kind of like they just happen when you're just playing a regular deck, and then those things just happen.
Yeah, you're just getting extra value.
Yeah.
The other thing I like with Eridorn, like you said, is it goes well in just about every 5-color deck because you can put it like in your Niv Mizzet deck.
Yeah, 100%.
Where you're just like 2, 2, 2, 2, and you're getting a bunch of different effects. Now, obviously, it won't do anything. But you're getting +4/+4 and a human and stuff like that.
About that. You run like charms.
Yeah.
And like Bant Charm or Is It Charm or anything like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like you're getting 2 effects or 3 effects.
Yeah, and if you have like Niv Mizzet out or in the new Niv Mizzet too, whenever you cast like a 2-color spell, getting the jump start and all that.
Yeah.
So like you're just proccing off of everything that you possibly can with him and just extreme value.
Oh, 100%.
I like the idea of a burn deck with him where you're playing red-white humans and you're just like getting a bunch of humans and you have like what is that? Enters the battlefield, deals damage. Card Impact Tremors.
Oh yeah.
Impact Tremors with him, and then you're just like cool, red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white, and you're just grabbing creatures to come in, and he's making this huge army pretty quick.
Yeah.
And but it's dope.
So many different ways you can build them. I think that's what I like about him.
Very versatile.
Yeah.
Cool. So my number 3 is King of the Oathbreakers. He is a 4-drop. He is a black and white. He's a 3/3 Spirit Noble with flying. Whenever King of the Oathbreakers or another spirit you control becomes the target of a spell, it phases out. So it just no targets, no anything else. Just it stays there like a ghost as it is.
As a ghost is.
And then whenever King of the Oathbreakers or another spirit you control phases in, create a tapped 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. There are so many cards. I think 5 cards that just wait. Oh, right. So no, sorry. There's the ones that exile things by themselves, but that's not. You're not really caring about the exile. You're caring about the target.
Yeah.
So you just phase them out anyway.
Yeah, Eerie Interludes and Semester's Ends, where you're just targeting your whole board and you're just like. Boop.
Yeah, or you could just any like. It gets around removal from your opponent, and then it just if they go, I'm gonna try to. Well, Doomblade's not a good example because he's black, but like
Blasphemous Act,
right? No.
It has to be a single target for your enemy. If I'm saying for your opponent, like if they try to target something, you're just like,
like Curse of the Swine.
Sure,
where, they target your whole board, and you get a bunch of pigs, and you're like, nah, dog.
And mind you, they can't use that to their advantage because they could just, I'm gonna target all your creatures. Everything's phasing out. You don't have any creatures. And then they dunk on you.
But when do they phase out till? End of turn?
Until your next
turn.
Your next
turn. Yeah.
Your next turn.
Yes.
Oh.
So they could mess with you, but I mean... Yeah.
You got to play very defensively with it, but I think that could be...
Yeah.
Like, the thing I like about it is that it counts each instance of a spirit coming in, right?
Right.
So every time the spirits phase in, you get more... Like, it's basically doubling your spirits.
Yeah. If you're playing it right, you're making like a... Not a Krenko level, but like you're making a lot of spirits.
Right.
Like, So
You know what's crazy too is it could probably go faster than Krenko in some degrees because it's all about the target. So the spells don't actually have to resolve. You could just continue target over and over and over and over and over again. So let's say you had that out and 6 mana, you could cast Eerie Interlude and Semester's End, and then the targets would see all targets, and then they would phase out.
But they wouldn't phase in. They would phase out, but then you're only making the tokens on phasing in.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
I'm curious. Does it say it's just target a spell? Or
Whenever King of the Oathbreakers or another spirit you control becomes the target of a spell.
okay, so not
abilities,
no.
no.
So that'd be just stupid if you had like a
Pinger or something.
Like I was gonna say like a 1 mana what's that one? I'm forgetting the name of it. That equipment that like sacks tokens.
Skull Clamp?
Skull Clamp. You just target to like equip, and then you're just like, oh, they're done. Oh, they're done.
yeah.
Oh, they're done. You know,
That'd be funny.
pay 1 mana each. That'd be kind of interesting.
Every time we agree, Mad Wizards make this card. Every time it gets equipped, they phase out.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I like it.
It's
It'd
a
be
very
fun.
cool card.
Hopefully, I'll be featuring that card in the channel.
Yeah.
So my number 3 is Gandalf the White. 3 and 2 white, legendary creature, Avatar Wizard, which is kind of a cool
He's
like
a bender?
creature type. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
He bends the elements.
Yeah.
He has flash, and he says you may cast legendary spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. If a legendary permanent or an artifact entering or leaving the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So here's the thought, y'all. There's cards like Reckless Fireweaver, Marionette Master, I think.
Right,
yeah.
yes.
Where it says whenever an artifact leaves the battlefield or enters the battlefield, take so on damage. And this says whenever that would happen, do it again.
Is it leaving or ETBing?
Both.
Yeah.
Whenever an artifact entering or leaving the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional.
He's really strong. He's really strong for a number of reasons, right? Yes, you can do stuff like that, but like you can also do stuff where it's just like you're just playing creatures that have ETB effects on them, right? Like those ones that like O-ring something.
Yep.
It's just like, bop, bop, thank you.
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, yeah, and there's the same with it's both ETB and dying triggers too, and white and like colorless that you can be his own commander very well too.
It's limited because it is only legendary permanents.
Sure.
But I mean, you can build around that.
It says legendary permanents or an artifact entering or leaving. So artifact ETBs and LTBs.
What I'm saying is like you couldn't do like, for example, you couldn't do literally an O-ring.
Sure. Yeah.
You'd have to find like a legendary creature or an artifact that would do something of a similar effect, or do stuff like that. But like, the fact that they have flash too, because like isn't there like a legendary sorcery board wipe, like Urza's Ruinous Blast?
Yeah.
You just be like, cool, instant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Drop it.
That's how that works. That is crazy. It's fun.
He's a very interesting one. I think he'd be
Gandalf
fun to play around.
Gandalf is doing the thing. But yeah. That's my number 3.
Yeah. Do you think does he pass?
I hate you. I hate you.
I'm not going to spend too much time talking about my number 3 because was his number 4.
Yeah.
Glam During. I had the exact same thought you did, Vadric, all the way. Because you put him in Vadric, you sling a bunch of spells, you make Vadric even bigger, you get more essentially free mana to cast more spells. You just
play Time Warp, and then just play Time Warp, and then just play Time Warp.
So yeah,
and take all the turns.
Very good card.
All right, my number 2 is Shelob. How do you pronounce it?
Yes.
Yeah, Shelob, Child of Ungoliant. It is a 6 mana 8/8 spider demon. It's black and green. Has Death Touch and Ward 2.
Spiders, demons.
And other spiders you control have Death Touch and Ward 2. And whenever another creature dealt damage this turn by a spider you controlled dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a food artifact with pay to tap it, sacrifice artifact, you gain 3 lists. So just a food token. And then it loses all of their card types. I read that right this time.
You did.
Yes, you did.
Card types.
Card types.
Yeah, when we first saw that card, he thought it said abilities, and it's like,
yes.
He's like, I don't know, and it's just like, wait, like read that again. Like,
Yeah.
no, it loses card type.
It
keeps its
basically
abilities.
Yeah, it basically becomes a food, and it becomes an artifact token at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no longer a creature.
So if you kill Elanowar elves, you still get a mana rock.
You get a little Mox Opal.
Yeah. There is a so I am building this deck. So something to note. So if you just have a bunch of little spiders, obviously just swinging out can really get you some value.
Yep.
But you can also just do fight effects.
Yep.
You can also do deals that, like I see the art in my head. I don't know the name. The one Clear Shot, I think it's called. The one it deals its damage to something else.
Sure.
I think it's Clear Shot. But since it has Death Touch, it insta kills it.
Yep.
So because it's dealing the damage, so that's how you do it. There's also a spider that you I was showing my brother last night. You sacrifice a land and deal 1 damage to each flyer. So, or it deals 1 damage to each flyer.
Yep.
So if someone's playing like, hey, I'm playing dragons, it's like, bro, you're playing dragons. Those are mine now. And then you just take all of them.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Shelob goes off of the damage if they die by a spider.
Mm-hmm.
Now see, then you get really crazy with it, and you just find a way to make that deck like 4 colors, right? And then you just play like something that animates all the artifacts.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, you
only need 3 colors.
Yeah.
Just as blue at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you just play Rise and Shine.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Like,
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But
kind of crazy.
No, I like it a lot.
Kind of crazy.
It was also, if you there's a lot. I think it's called Pathway Arrows, and there's other artifacts that just like our equipments that just go onto it and it gives it the ability to ping stuff.
See, I thought the same thing as 3 colors, but I thought red and doing like Chandra's Ignition and stuff like that, where you're just like kind of thing, and you're just destroying everything. Now, I will say the only thing negative I have about it is its cost of 6. Like it might, in green black especially, it's not that hard to get 6 mana going.
You can get 6 mana, or if you do get it, like it's easy to ramp in green. It's easy to bring things back in black.
I just expect I know you should expect every time that thing is on the field, it will die. Yeah, like it will be targeted.
I mean, it also has ward too.
It does have ward too.
You have to do some extra stuff just to
So my number 2 is Display of Power. It is 1 and 2 red, instant. The spell cannot be copied. Copy any number of target instants and or sorceries. You may choose new targets for those copies. So, here's how I see it, right? Last night we played some Commander.
Yeah.
And I had the Wombo combo ready to rock, okay? I had Teach by Example and Twinferno. And what they do is they let you copy the next instant and sorcery you cast. So I had 2 copies ready of whatever I was going to cast next. I had a Hideaway card for Explosive Singularity. So all I had to do was swing with 5 creatures, make 5 more creatures, Rabble Rousing, Hideaway, Explosive Singularity 3 times for 30 damage.
Yeah.
And
that's what Explosive Singularity does. 10 to any target?
Any target. And I was just going to wipe Chris, one of our other friends, off the face of this earth.
Right.
Just show him the Explosive Singularity.
But I didn't let him.
But Austin exiled my enchantment.
Instead, I was just like, bro, you should have an Incubate token.
But what Display of Power can do in that instance is you pay 3 mana and you literally copy the whole stack. So you copy both your instants and sorceries, you copy that target that destroyed the enchantment, and now you have, instead of just 2, you have 4 of your next spell that you would cast. So, and in the same instance, if somebody's trying to go infinite in storm decks or spell slinging decks, you're just like, cool, I'll just do everything you did and win. And you do it because your spell would resolve before theirs.
So that is kind of an interesting like counterplay to somebody who's storming off.
Yeah.
Like if they're just keep putting stuff on the stack, it's like, your stack? Our stack.
Yeah.
You know?
Communism.
It is a display of power.
Yes. Oh, and it's red.
It is. It is red.
In the background, yeah.
No, that's Gandalf.
No, that's Stalin.
Gandalf the Red.
The flavor text is by Gandalf. The Nazgul closed round at night, and I was besieged. Such light and flame cannot have been seen on Weathertop since the war beacons of old.
Rob Rasputin.
Huzzah. Anyways, yeah. Display of Power is pretty good.
My number 2 is Elvin Taurus. It's a 4-mana green enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Creatures you control have tap. Add 1 mana of any color. It is a Cryptolith, right? But better.
With Vizier of
Yeah.
Many faces.
No. The green snake from Amonkhet. I don't remember the name of it. Though.
I don't remember his name either, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, Vizier of the Menagerie.
Yes. It's just so good. Like, okay, cool. I can look at the top card of my library. If it's a creature, I get to cast it. I can use my creatures that are on the field to cast it. They can be any color.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, this just seems like a really good, like, any, like, green including or green creature deck. This is just, it's an auto-include. Like, like, I really feel like, like, you can put this in, like, Isan would love this. Like, my...
any token deck, really.
Yeah.
My Nagila deck, right? I'm just creating all those warrior tokens, and then like you could like just go infinite combat with this.
Oh,
like, but then
oh no, we got infinite with Nagila again.
I know it's easy to do. But what I'm saying is like then you could also just keep casting creatures off the top of the deck.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you don't hit a land or something.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a
good.
very nice card.
Yeah,
I really love it. They messed up.
Yeah.
This is gonna get dumb.
The Lord of the Rings set is pretty dumb.
I just thought about it. So I have a Shattergang goblins deck, which is red, black, green for goblins. You just play Goblin Recruiter, put all your goblins on top of your library, and just
Yeah.
Yeah, and instead of sacking them at that point, you just tap them. In fact, you could do both.
Goblin.
You could tap them for mana, then sack them for double. So for 2 red at that point with the Skirk.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
That's pretty good.
that's annoying. I
like that.
All right, new counter bait.
Honorable mentions, right?
So now we're on to honorable mentions. These are cards that just were good. We like them, but just didn't make the list. Mine is it's actually funny because I just looked at yours, but mine is Boromir, Warden of the Tower. 3. So he's a 3-mana 3/3 human soldier with vigilance. He's mono white. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. So it's like that one mirror.
Void Mirror?
Void Mirror, yeah. So that's just good. Screw you, Eldrazi's, I guess. And then sacrifice Boromir, Warden of the Tower. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn, then the ring tempts you. That is super flavorful, first off. And then the reason why I like it is because this is 100% just going straight into Jetmir. Like, and he like he's just really good in token decks because he's just like it'd be a little more flavorful. No, because he saves multiple people in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Marion Pippen.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. But yeah, he's just utility. I like him a lot.
He's really good. I really like the idea of him just standing there being like, no Eldrazi shall, you know, mess with this.
And then they just Pathway Arrows him, and he...
Oh wait, no. With so it's not the same as Void Mirror because Void Mirror is any colors. This is if no mana was spent. So if you're casting something for free, so not Eldrazi's. It's anything that just allows you to cast things for free.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, remember the Heliod deck I was playing last night when I would cast those Eldrazi's
Okay, in your case, yes, that would.
That's kind of like if anything is 0 cost, it just boop dead because you're not paying any mana for it.
Yeah.
That's what it's. That's just to read the text on it. It says if you don't pay mana towards it.
Whenever opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So it's really good. Yeah. It gets around any kind of cheap decks.
Copies that also cast. So if it says like cast the copy.
Oh yeah, it gets rid of my whole
fiery
display of power.
Does it cast the copies or
it copied any number of targets? You may choose new targets. So
no.
Yeah.
So it specifically has to say cast the copies.
Oh,
so that one won't do anything. But if it says something, I can't remember the name of the cards that do it. They're specific, but like it'll say cast the copies.
Good.
Go on.
Well, my honorable mention is Faramir. Just like Boromir, but
wherever
not.
you are, Amir.
I should have picked Denethor.
Faramir, Prince of Ithilien? I don't know. Sounds like a medicine. 2 blue and a white.
Ask a doctor if Ithilien is right.
Yeah.
May cause death. That's it. It just may cause death.
May cause getting burned on a pyre by your father.
He's a legendary creature. Human noble. Could you imagine nobody's ever heard of anything from Lord of the Rings? This is their first introduction.
If you haven't read the books, which have been out since like what, the 60s?
No, way earlier.
Way earlier than that?
Way earlier, like the 1920s, dude. Like before World War II.
I don't know if it was the 20s.
Yes.
Man served in World War I. He didn't write the books by that point.
I'm looking it up.
Semantics. If you haven't read the books or seen the movies yet, you're under a rock. I don't know.
Hold on. We're going to find out right now. Between
37 and
1937 and 1949. So I know it came out before
between our point.
World War II started. I know that. But, yeah.
So anyways, your card?
Anyways, Faramir. At the beginning of your end step, choose an opponent. At the beginning of that player's next end step, you draw a card if they didn't attack you that turn. Otherwise, create 3 1/1 white human soldier tokens. So, do you want to be my friend? Yes? Cool. I'll draw a card. No, you don't want to be my friend? That's fine. I'll make 3 human tokens, which the idea I have for this is blue-white humans or even Bant humans going into that, where you're just making a bunch of humans, you're getting a bunch of triggers, and he just basically, if you know that somebody's going to attack you or needs to attack you, if they're goaded or whatever it may be, you're just like, cool, I'll make 3 humans, and then you just get the new Horn of Gondir out, and just like make 7, make 10, make 20, just keep going.
I was just gonna say anointed. Like, you're gonna attack me, cool. At the end of my turn, anointed possessions out. I'm gonna make 6 humans.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's
yeah.
I think there's a lot of utility, especially because it says human soldiers. Just tribal, tribal is just insane.
Yeah.
My honorable mention is Delighted Halfling. It's a 1 mana green Halfling Citizen. It's a 1/2. It taps to add a colorless, or taps to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a legendary spell, and that spell can't be countered.
So it's like Birds of Paradise, but
protecting.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Llanowar Elves for your commander that makes it to where you can't counter the commander.
Yeah, that's good.
Very good.
Yeah.
For a mana dork, a lot of utility.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that in my Lana deck.
Yeah, because it's like if you're playing a deck like Lathril, right? Mm-hmm. When Lathril hits the field, you know that's a danger.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you got the blue player, he's got his counter mana up, and you're just like, can't be countered. Cool. Yeah. I'll get Lathril out. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
And then they just turn around
really good.
And then they just turn around and hit you with the Path to Exile or whatever.
Lightning bolt.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're down to our number 1 picks from the set. This one is odd for me, but I'll explain. Orlando Bloom, Master of Archers. Sorry, Legolas, Master Archer. He's a 3 mana 1/4. He's a mono green.
Pirate.
Nope. Not anymore. He's a pirate and an elf and an archer.
He has
reach. Makes sense.
And Billy and the Vibolin.
And what?
Billy and the Vibolin. He's a crusader.
I haven't seen that.
Oh. Shout out to Orlando Bloom. Sponsor us.
Anyway, so he's a 1/4 with reach. Crazy how something with a bow and arrow has reach.
Yeah.
Insane.
No. Typical.
Ridiculous.
Not typical, actually. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Legolas, put a 1/1 counter on Legolas. And whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you don't control, Legolas deals damage equal to its power to up to 1 target creature.
Yep.
All right. So once again, this is kind of like the spiders, but you can play any fight spells, and you target him, and then you target their thing. Mm-hmm. So he's going to get a 1/1 counter. He's going to deal his damage to something else, but then his bottom thing triggers and then hits something else. So if he gets big, and obviously I'm going to be playing this like enchantment equipments and stuff like that. But basically one spell can just kill 2 things, and then just keep boosting him up. Yeah. I really want to build this just because I want to build him and just no other creatures, no other anything, and just him and just equipment and pump spells and everything else, and just go in. Just giant's growth into a fight and just
What's the caller that gives Death Touch and Lifelink?
Basilisk Caller.
Basilisk Caller, yeah.
You just like Death Touch, Lifelink, boop, 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 done. And you just board wipe them.
I also just like Legolas, so
Yeah. Gimli, all the way, Axe.
I didn't say he was my favorite. I said I like.
Who's your favorite then?
It'd be Gimli.
Really?
Yes, I love dwarves.
Yes.
Dwarves are the best.
He's just funny. He's like funny, and he takes the action to another level. Favorite Lord of the Rings character?
Probably Eridorn. Yeah.
Lame.
I like the idea of like a king running into battle, for his people.
I will say the most like epic scene of Lord of the Rings to me is when he shows up with the whole ghost army.
Yeah.
That was when I first watched Lord of the Rings. That was like the most epic of like it's almost like the Avengers aspect of like, I have an army. Well, I have a Hulk. You know, like he just shows up with his own army of Ghost.
I have an army. Well, I have an army too.
My favorite was whenever Sam was just like, "This is the farthest way I've been from home," and then he keeps going.
He just keeps going.
You know,
My favorite was when they enunciated potatoes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Anyways, my number one is Storm of Saruman. 4 and 2 blue, an enchantment. Ward 3 on the enchantment, which I think is pretty awesome.
Pretty great.
And then whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. You may choose new targets for the copy. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. So, easy setup here. You wait to cast your commander for your second spell that turn. You now have 2 of your commanders out on the field. Let's say you're playing an Eridorn deck.
Yep.
So you now have 2 Eridorns triggering each time.
Yep.
Let's say you're playing any commander deck. This is like a staple blue card at this point. This should go in every commander deck. Every blue commander deck, any kind of because you're basically saying, "Hey, I'm going to cast this little 1 mana spell. Like I'm going to cast Lawnware Elves, and then I'm going to cast my commander, and I'm going to have 2 commanders."
Yeah, and then the great thing about it too is that because you created a copy on cast, even if they counter something, cool,
you still get
1.
Also, it isn't restricted to anything. This is anything you cast,
Any
right?
spell.
Yeah,
So
you
you
might
could
second
just
spell each turn.
Yeah.
So not just on
so
your
even
turn, on their turns too.
Yeah.
So if you can find ways to, this is going in Heliod like
Oh, 100%.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Like the fact that
amazing.
it has built-in protection. Like enchantment removal is already difficult. Having like built-in protection is nice too.
Yeah. And it's 6 mana. I think that is the most detrimental to it, but
but it's
doable.
That's necessary.
Yeah.
It's a powerful card.
And with Heliod, it's only 2 mana.
Fair.
It's pretty good.
I like it.
My number 1 is Tom Bombadil. It's number 1 because it's probably the only deck from this, or the only card from this deck that this set that I want to make into a deck.
Cute.
Aside from Eridorn, but Eridorn's kind of like maybe down the road. Tom Bombadil, I definitely want to do because I've wanted to do like a saga deck. For a while, it just never seemed like any of them really worked. Like, I mean, maybe like an Enchantress deck you could have done it, but like, he's just really cool for sagas. He's a 5 mana, 4/4. As long as there are 4 or more lore counters among sagas you control, he has hexproof and indestructible. So nice little built-in protection as long as you're playing the deck right. Whenever the final chapter ability of a saga you control resolves, reveal cards from the top until you reveal another saga, put the card on the battlefield, and then the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability only triggers once each turn. So, I mean, this is just really cool because it's very flavorful in a way, and it's like you just keep telling stories. Like, I'm gonna play this saga this turn, another saga the next turn, another saga the next turn. As long as you're stacking it right, you're resolving this every single turn, and just keep telling stories, keep bringing new sagas.
Is it once per turn you can do that, or
Once
is
per
it
turn.
once per turn?
Yeah,
Okay.
once each turn. So if you somehow manage to find a way to get a saga off on another player's turn, you could bring another saga.
Theoretically, yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's really cool. It's some sagas aren't all that great, but some sagas are pretty powerful and have nice effects. So
Is it a May to do that, or do you have to search?
you have to search.
I mean, I doubt you'd run it, but the one saga that's just like destroy all lands.
Oh yeah, Fall Thran or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I actually just pulled one the other day too. The first thing that comes to my mind is the new Phyrexian new Praetors that turn into sagas.
Yes, there's that.
Would be kind of cool because you can cast them and then flip them and then go get another saga and then they turn back into a creature.
Yep.
That's insane. I didn't think about
Yep.
that. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's a really good option. Also, I like playing like even like some of like the sagas from Theros or from like Warhammer. Just like bringing Tom Bombadil's gonna tell you about the Horus Heresy. Just
Bomb Bombadil's gonna
Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
Doug Dimmadome.
You know, I mean, it's just I don't know. I like it. It's a very flavorful thing. I
Yeah,
think it's
sagas are pretty good
it's
too.
very
There's
fun.
a lot of good ones.
I like it.
there's some that are kind of like so,
Yeah,
but there are some that like it gets you some really big benefits that like
Like destroying lands.
like destroying lands. Yeah, I'm just the only saga in the whole deck is just Fall Off the Ran. I'm just
That would be interesting, though. Tom Bombadil built with just one saga to win the game kind of thing.
I don't know how you
I
do
don't know
that,
how
but
you do it, but
Fall of Thran,
Be
then
funny.
destroy Fall of Thran.
but there is that one green saga that like gets you lands from your graveyard, if I'm not mistaken.
right.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but like
You have a lot of options now.
100%.
You just play Fall of Thran, right? And then you destroy all lands. Then you you float 3 mana, and you Beast Within Fall of Thran.
And then you just lock the game out until people start drawing lands again.
It's Armageddon, yeah. And you just
I mean,
done.
Yeah, sure. If you want to be a jerk,
I mean, yes, that's what people. I'm coming to you, people that view this. Don't do that. Don't do that for the sake of having friends.
I know we just showed you how to make the pipe bomb.
Yeah,
but don't do it.
exactly. I know I just showed what you can do to make all your friends hate you. Just don't.
This is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for the set.
Yeah.
So those are our top 5s.
Let us know yours in the comments.
Yeah. Let us know what kind of commanders
Please,
that you want to build.
we're pretty lonely in the comments. We need you to say something.
Yeah.
Please.
Please let me respond to your
Our
comments.
comments are dry.
You can be. you could be a little derisive. You know, it's
Yeah.
okay.
It's okay.
Make fun of our pronunciations.
We can
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
We suck. We get it.
Tell me I'm stupid for not remembering when Lord of the Rings was written.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Scheduling conflicts? Okay, I guess I'll do it by myself. Well, it's just me, but not for long. Perfect. Thanks for watching. While you're here, make sure you like and subscribe. Every like counts, so we really need it. And hey, if you want to leave a comment below, feel free to. And hey, if you like our stuff and you want to talk to us more often, you can go to our channel and check out our Discord. It's completely free. We have so much that you could do there. Plus, if you want to, you could check out our website, myvelvetgames.com. It's for everybody. And if you like this stuff, you can help support us more by checking out our Patreon. Tons of levels for tons of people. I mean, hey, it's people like you that make this thing possible, so we appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Alright, now I gotta go to work, unlike you two bums. Where's he going? Does he know we have the day off?